Hey, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about probably the number one question that I get from entrepreneurs and business owners. And also, I think the most commonly confusing question. And that's how to pay yourself. It seems, kind of straightforward, but there are some serious nuances and questions that come up around this and misconceptions. So, I'm going to talk about the right ways to pay yourself, the do's and the don'ts, whether you need to be running payroll, and how that all impacts your taxes on this episode. Okay, number one, let's talk about how to pay yourself. Are you going to use Venmo, checks, online transfers? Do you need to take cash out? Like, what do you need to be doing? And this might sound crazy. I feel like this is such a common happening that we see happen in the business world, right? Where you're like, oh my God, there's so many options. Like, there's a little bit of like decision paralysis going on because there's so many options. But at the end of the day, it's so much simpler than we all make it out to be. If you are a sole proprietor or a single member LLC, there's no wrong way really to pay yourself. It doesn't matter. Cash, check, online transfers, Zells would be fine. Venmo, technically, Venmo would be okay with an asterisk simply because you're not supposed to be using Venmo for business purposes. However, technically paying yourself is not a business purpose, although paying yourself via Venmo, kind of difficult to do. So my favorite and my major tip is to set up a regular way to pay yourself. So instead of money flying here and there and chaos, I really recommend when you're first getting started, paying yourself one day a week and either paying yourself a flat amount or paying yourself a percentage of what you make. Generally, you want to be paying yourself about 50% or less, but paying yourself either a set amount or a set percentage once a week, I think is a really easy way to do that. When I was first getting started and with a lot of our clients, I encourage they pay themselves either every Monday or every Friday. That gets your, personal bills set up so that you can kind of know what to expect. And it keeps you, like if you're doing the profit first method or something else, you're not sitting here, oh gosh, I got 5 payments today and 4 payments yesterday, and I'm getting 3 payments tomorrow. And you're not having to do all the math on like a daily basis. It's a freaking mess. So I really like doing it once a week. If you're not counting on the income, I might even do it once every 2 weeks or once a month. But if you need the income more regularly, which I find to be much more common with the businesses that I work with, once a week, then eventually maybe move to every other week if that works for you. But there's nothing wrong with doing that. Now, I really like if you have your bank at the same place, like business bank, personal banking, all at the same bank, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, you name it, you're simply able to do an online transfer. So you're able to go in, move money from the business account to your personal account. Normally in the memo, I'll put something, simple like owner's pay or owner's draw, because that's not actually a business expense. The money that you take out of the business to pay yourself, and that's in quotes, to pay yourself is not payroll. It's not wages and salaries. It's owner's draw or owner's pay. And it does not affect the expenses of your business. Because like we said in the previous episode, remember how all that profit in the bucket drips into your personal bucket? Same concept. Whether you pay yourself all of that money that you have that's profit, or whether you leave it in your business account, you get taxed on it. So that's the next really common misconception that I have. I have worked with some clients who come to me and they're like, oh my God, I'm terrified of like what the taxes are going to be. I haven't moved any of the money over. I don't know how to pay myself the right way. I've left it all in my business account. What do I do? And I mean, the good and the bad is like you're going to pay taxes on it, whether you pay it to yourself or not. You're not going to fuck it up by, paying yourself wrong, so long as you're not doing payroll when you shouldn't be. So you can move the money over, but you're paying taxes whether you let it sit there and grow, which for some of my clients, they're really happy to do. They want to have their business accounts be super flush. Maybe they have another job. Maybe they have a partner whose income they're relying on. That's totally fine. If you're able to leave that money alone, just know that you're paying taxes each year as you go, as you have your profit. So you don't have to worry if you've accumulated $50, $60, $70,000 in your business checking, and then you finally go to start paying yourself. You've paid taxes on whatever your profit is. So deep breaths, because you're not paying yourself wrong. Now, If you do not have your bank, your personal bank at the same bank as your business bank, I really like using checks. And this is so flippin' old school. Do not, for the love of everything, do not order checks from your bank. They are probably going to be like Harlan Clark. It's going to be 125 checks or 100 checks, and they're going to be ridiculous. You don't have to order checks through your bank. Go to Vistaprint, go to look at their check options. You need your info. So like business name, business address, what bank you bank with, and your 9-digit routing number and your account number, which you can get from online banking. Go in, it'll prompt you to enter all your information for the checks. And I'm still working off the Vistaprint orders that I had like 3 or 4 years ago. And I write checks regularly for my business, just nature of, who I am. So, and I think they were like $5 or $7 for 125 of them. So if your banking is not all at the same place, order some checks. Same thing. If you're needing to pay like contractors or subcontractors and you need checks, you can use all of those. I really like using checks for exactly that reason. But when you're paying yourself, it's really easy because you can write yourself a check and then mobile deposit it. So it's a really low cost way to be paying yourself. So this is for sole proprietors, single member LLCs, and partnerships for the most part. Now, if you are running payroll, paying yourself is different. And we're going to talk about that for just a minute or two. So when you have an S-Corp election, you have to be running payroll in order to lock in all of the tax savings that the S-Corp election brings. And when I say payroll, I mean like through QuickBooks, through ADP, through Paychecks, through SurePayroll, or through my favorite, Gusto. We'll link them in the show notes here because they're phenomenal. Their customer support is great. They're really affordable and they e-file everything for you, which is fantastic. We use them for all of our clients because we literally cannot process payroll as inexpensively as they can. They've really just been killing it. So if you're in S-Corp, you need to be running payroll at least 1 a year, most times, depending on the dollar value, at least 4 a year. What I recommend doing is I recommend setting up payroll on a twice a month schedule, which is known as semi-monthly. Keep in mind, this is not the same as biweekly. Biweekly, you get paid every other Friday generally. There are 26 pay periods in a year, meaning you get paid 26 times because there's 52 weeks. So if you get paid every 2 weeks, 52 divided by 2 is 26. However, if you get paid semi-monthly, that is twice per month, which means that there are 24 pay periods per year instead of 26. So with that, the reason that I like semi-monthly over biweekly. Semi-monthly, your pay dates stay the same every month. So if you pick like the 1st and the 16th, or the 5th and the 21st, or the 10th and the 26th, or it doesn't matter. It lets you plan your personal bills and gives you some stability, which I think is really important when you're a business owner. Now, if it's biweekly, your pay dates will rotate throughout the month because there are 2 months out of the year where you have 3 pay periods, meaning that like your Friday dates will shift. Some people really like that. So if you do, set it up how you like. Some people will do monthly. I don't love monthly payrolls simply because monthly payrolls require a lot of cash up front for a lot of smaller business owners. And Gusto doesn't charge extra for running multiple payrolls. So I think from a personal finance and a personal budgeting standpoint and cash flow, it's much easier to do 2 per month. So you've got payroll set up. You're looking good. You're really happy with it, but you need to take more money out. Maybe you're buying a house. Maybe, you're paying yourself a bonus or you're doing a profit distribution. You can take additional money out of the account, just like you're a single member LLC or a sole proprietor. It needs to be a little bit more legitimate though, once you're an S-Corp. So in this case, I recommend either an online transfer or a check. I prefer a check, and you just need to denote if it's a bonus, it should go through payroll. If it's profit sharing or an owner's distribution, you can run it through a check. So I know, again, we're going to recap because this is a lot and kind of dense. So single member LLC, sole proprietor, pay yourself however you choose. My preferred methods are check and online transfers. It doesn't matter if you pay yourself all of the money or if you hoard it all in your business account, you still get taxed on whatever your profit is at the end of the year. If you are an S-Corp, You need to be running payroll in order to maximize all of the tax benefits that come with an S-Corp. If you have questions about any of these, we cover all of these in the self-study course that Get Your Finance Shit Together. And it truly, this gets to be so much simpler than a lot of us make it out to be. We want paying ourselves to be a little bit complicated, I think, especially if you've worked, a standard job or like a day job where, you're filling out your tax withholdings and it's on a set pay period and it's, got a delay on when you get paid. We're used to it being more complicated. And I think coming into business, we're used to things in business being a little bit more confusing or a little bit more complicated. And this is one thing that really gets to be about as simple as we want it to be. So again, if you like this episode, please leave a 5-star review. Tell me all about it. Leave your Instagram handle in the comment on your review, because we do pick one person every month that we're going to do a free strategy session with. And I am so excited. So make sure you tune in next week for the next episode. That's a wrap for this episode of the Wealth Witches podcast. I hope our magical money talks have left you feeling empowered and inspired. Remember, wealth isn't just about dollars in the bank, it's about abundance and financial freedom in all aspects of your life. I'm Katelyn Magnuson, encouraging you to keep challenging the status quo and embrace your inner witch on this financial journey. Until next time, stay magical.